And thank you for joining us here at noon. I'm Jim Stratman filling in for Brooke Hash today. And it is primary election day here in Kentucky. Some of the big races on today's ballot include the U.S. House and the state legislature. But first, let's talk a little bit about what you need to know if you're heading out to the polls. Polling locations across Kentucky will close at 6 p.m. tonight. Now, if you're in line at 6 when the polls close, stay in that line. You will be allowed to vote. There are well over 100 different voting precincts just here in Jefferson County, so it is important to know exactly which one you need to go to. You can check your polling location by going to govote.ky.gov, and while you're there, you can check out a simple ballot where you can go ahead and take a look at what it is you're going to see when you get into the voting booth. You'll need a valid ID to vote today, and if you're still hanging on to your absentee ballot, don't drop them, or go ahead and drop them off in person. Do not mail them. They will not get there in time. Well, here in Louisville, we'll be closely watching the Metro Council race. There are 13 Metro Council seats on the ballot, including the closely watched race in District 4. It covers downtown Louisville and some of the surrounding neighborhoods like Butchertown, Portland, Russell, and Smoketown. There are 10 candidates in the running, and while some are focusing on filling downtown business vacancies, others have safety top of mind.
Every neighborhood in this district in particular is very different, a very different perspective. I've had some who think crime is more of an issue for them.
A lot of it starts with safety, and I know it's easy to pick on our police department, and there are some warts there, but also it's our judges and our prosecutors make sure they're upholding the laws that people are being arrested for. That matters.
The District 4 candidate will replace Ja'Cory Arthur after the independent councilman announced that he would not be running for re-election. Well, there is another big Metro Council race going on in the Highlands area. Ben Reno Weber is running to keep his seat as a council person for District 8. Now, Reno Weber filled the seat following a special election last fall.
I think about the number of my constituents who care about, my support and defense of Floyd's Fork, about our investment in parks, not just in our cities, about our work on people experiencing houselessness and violence. They care about the stuff that is beyond the borders of our neighborhood.
Reno Weber is running against Taylor McGovern-Uselis, who says that she wants to bring a more progressive value to the Metro Council. And if you are heading out to vote today, TARC is going to be offering fare-free rides all day to help people get to and from the polls. That includes all of the routes that they normally have, including their paratransit. Polls opened at 6 o'clock this morning, and they are set to run until 6 o'clock tonight. And because of Election Day, Jefferson County schools are closed, as many are being used for polling locations. You can find details on how to find your location along with the full list of candidates in our voter guide on WHAS11.com. It is linked on our homepage. Well, here at noon, the Black Birth Justice Incorporation was awarded $5.5 million from the Health Start grant, which works to reduce infant mortality rates and improve maternal health outcomes in Jefferson County. The money comes from the Health Resources and Services Administration, otherwise known as HRSA. The organization strives to provide care and support to single mothers, helping them with postpartum depression, offering a doula care, and providing supplies. With this money, they will use the money to connect families to preventative and behavioral health services, offer referrals to patients. We spoke with a mother who has benefited from their programs they offered to her and her family.
BBJ was there for me, the doulas and the program helped us, with everything we need. It's love here. So much love for the community, for the people, for the mamas, for the babies, for the family. BBJ is family.
The organization was founded in 2021 and serves over 300 mothers here in Jefferson County. The City Council of Jeffersonville has unanimously approved the Jeffersonville Police Department's newest contract. The Jeffersonville Police say it's less about recruiting and more about retaining the officers that they already have. With the approval of this contract, that means every officer will get a $6,000 raise. They were getting paid just over $59,700, and now it's up to $66,000, which will take effect over on July 1st. Now, officers will also have a brand new schedule where they will work a rotating schedule for 5 days on and 4 days off. New surveillance video shows a startling incident with a Louisville man walking around Frankfort Avenue holding an assault rifle. You can see 27-year-old Arik Brooks in the middle of the street with the weapon as cars just drive by. Now, this happened Friday afternoon, shortly after police say Brooks shot a woman in the arm in a nearby bookstore parking lot. Amy Lambert was working at the Frankfort Avenue Beer Depot and Smokehouse when Brooks walked up with the rifle. She called the moment scary.
All I heard was one of the regulars yell and say, I heard him say gun, then he yelled my name. He said, Amy, call 911. It was a very scary situation.
A judge kept Brooks's bond at $200,000. Court records show that Brooks admitted to shooting the woman in her car. She was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Brooks is facing charges of attempted murder, wanton endangerment, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He's due back in court on May 29th. The first court appearance for Scotty Scheffler is now delayed 2 weeks. The Jefferson County Attorney's Office said the judge granted the defense's motion to move the arraignment to June 3rd, quote, over the objection of County Attorney Mike O'Connell. Now, Scheffler's attorney, Steve Romine, says the request was because of scheduling conflicts. Scheffler was arrested outside of Valhalla Golf Club early Friday morning before round 2 of the PGA Championship. Police say he ignored an officer's commands to stop and then dragged the officer with his car. Scheffler and his attorney say it was a misunderstanding. Officers were on scene investigating the death of John Mills, a vendor employee hit and killed by a shuttle bus early that morning. There was not body camera video of the incident, which is something that Mayor Craig Greenberg says is going to be investigated.
So Chief Gwynn Biller-O'Ell and LMTV are of course going to investigate this incident. If there are violations of policies that took place, they will be very clear with that, and we will deal with that appropriately.
Mayor Greenberg said that there is video from a camera across the street, and that will be released a little bit later on. The county's attorney's office says it continues to gather more information on this case. Let's turn to the former Clark County, Indiana sheriff. 3 of his daughters, they were all in court along with his wife as part of a lawsuit. The Indiana Attorney General is trying to get back millions of dollars in taxpayer money. The state says Knowles' family and his associates spent on personal items. Focus reporter Travis Breeze and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie have more on the state's efforts to freeze their assets.
This was the first time that we saw Gracie or Josie Knoll in an official courtroom proceeding. 5 Knoll family members had to verbally agree to having the temporary restraining order extended for 30 days. That will prevent them from selling any of their assets. Former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll, who is currently serving contempt of court time, entered the Washington County courtroom in a black and white jumpsuit. A temporary restraining order is already in place as the state tries to get back $4 million.
You heard Mr. Stewart outline the agreement that has been reached among the parties.
Monday, each family member had to testify under oath and agree to have the restraining order extended another 30 days.
Young lady, please state your name.
Josie Knoll.
Josie and Gracie Knoll are listed on the lawsuit because Jamie is accused of paying their college tuition with fire department funds. They are not facing any criminal charges. Casey and Misty Knoll are said to have been named credit card holders and accused of spending over $700,000. The family members held hands as each one was called.
You cannot sell anything.
Misty Knoll is accused of getting duplicate titles for vehicles and attempting to sell them. She refuted that.
You applied for duplicate titles to know what all was in your name or the family name solely without the view of trying to secret assets from the state of Indiana. Is that true?
That's true.
Attorney Larry Wilder with a strong embrace of Jamie Knoll as he headed back to serve the final 3 weeks of his contempt of court time. There will be another hearing on the lawsuit on June 21st. In Salem, Travis Breeze, WHAS 11 on your side.
Attorney Larry Wilder filed a motion for a change of judge in this civil case. Kenneth Eubanks, the former Scott County Sheriff mentioned in one of these suits, was not in court. And in a developing story out of Fort Knox, tensions were high after a decades-old unexploded hand grenade was found this morning. South Knox Street from Spearhead Division Avenue was closed. Officials say facilities in that area, such as the Abound Credit Union Transition Assistance Program, Directorate of Human Resources, and Army Substance Abuse Program, are all considered a safe distance away. You can still get to those places from Dixie Street and from Pershing Drive. And a heads up for drivers today, 3 lanes on part of the Kennedy Bridge are closed until further notice. Crews closed a section of the left 3 lanes Monday because of a joint damage. Once engineers assessed the damage, they decided a bridge contractor will have to make repairs. Now, until those repairs are made, the Transportation Cabinet will keep the lanes closed to avoid damaging vehicles. There is already a planned project to replace expansion joints on the bridge, and the Transportation Cabinet is expediting this repair contract. Also right now, all but one eastbound lane on the Sherman-Minton Bridge is closed. The Indiana Department of Transportation says all lanes won't open up until Friday at 5 a.m. at the earliest. Now, they were originally supposed to reopen yesterday after being closed for 2 weeks. The Sherman-Minton renewal team does say a single lane opened up overnight. Phase 4 of the project is set to be completed on Friday. Then crews will move into Phase 5.